Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and fellow panelists and friends. I belong to an organization which does all that which you are talking about. ISEC is a 27-year-old NGO. We have about 11,000 learning centers at present, out of which 6,000 are CSCs and 4,000 to 5,000 are urban training centers. We run 2 private universities for delivering higher education in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. We are NSDC partners for vocational education. And we have been into IT education and IT-based education for the last 20-25 years. I'll focus my points on the actual topic of the day, which is innovations in adult literacy and literacy. And incidentally, I'm also the chairman of the SRC, which handles the adult literacy in Madhya Pradesh. To begin with, I want to give you a very brief background about how ISEC has developed and has become sustainable. There is a World Bank report available on our organization. Way back in 85-87, when we started working, the whole debate was towards IT exports and BPO. But as an organization which was committed to people, we thought we'll take up 2 or 3 key issues. One, dissemination of IT in the rural areas, and we started doing that in the 80s, 87, 88. The second basis of our expansion and sustainability was use of Indian languages. And I wrote a book called Computer Ek Parichai in Hindi in 85-86, which sold in lakhs and later in millions. And we found out to our surprise that there is a lot of demand of knowledge and of the technology in the rural areas, especially when you demystify them and talk to them in their own language. The third thing which I always bothered about was sustainability. All this debate about setting up IT centers in the rural areas was theoretical and was mired in the urban attitude and urban sort of models. And for the first time, we sort of worked out by working with the people that sustainability comes out of multipurposeness in the rural area. So you have to be training people, you have to be handholding them, you have to be doing services for them, and you may also have to do some production activity when you have to survive in that area. So what the model we propose is a multipurpose center model. Education is in the core of that multipurpose center. We worked out that unless we generate awareness and train people and educate them, all this will not have any meaning. So the second point I want to make is that education is our core activity, it's a core competence. The revenue model which we have has about 70 to 75% revenue generation by education and only by 20-25% by services and other things. When CSCs came up, I find our old friends Alok Bhargav here, I find Dr. Tyagi here. Even at that point of time, we said that G2C will never form core revenue for the CSC centers. Actually, education will be the core revenue. I'm very happy that you have taken up this issue now and this workshop focusing on that. Now, when we say that education should be the core revenue stream for the CSCs, what education we are talking about? You talked about digital literacy, you talk about school education, you talk about vocational education, and maybe a referral point from the CSC as far as the higher education is concerned. I think the core curriculum of the digital literacy has already been worked out. There has been a workshop by DOACC and IGNOU 2 years back, and the core curriculum has already been worked out. Then what is it which stops us from delivering the core curriculum from CSCs? I think I'll point out 2-3 cases which will illustrate why it is not happening. Our secretary in the morning talked about 5 levels of curriculum which can be integrated to the core curriculum. I think the first problem is that in the mindset and in the attitude. Permit me if I am a little critical about the methods adopted. IGNOU, for example, signed an MOU with CSC SPD, and we have a separate MOU with IGNOU, basically for promoting literacy and computer literacy program. We brought into IGNOU network about 1 lakh students who are willing to do computer literacy and other higher education programs. And suddenly, IGNOU questions all the MOU by the pretext that, we don't have the statutes or ordinances for this purpose. Sir, you change your statute ordinances. You don't stop the process wherein there's a lot of demand among the people for taking up programs. There's a lot of demand among the people for taking up courses. And one Now they have worked out a method with the help of Tata Consultancy and with the help of development operators, digital primer which can be used for adult literacy. Now, we suggested that you use common service centers for delivering these adult literacy programs through the ICT mode. We have a digital primer. If time is permitted, we can show the digital primer to you. It's a very easy method of communicating adult literacy to people. Now, what stops MHRD from using the common service centers network? Nothing except the attitude of keeping that to themselves. They also have to open up and take on common service centers, provide them the digital primer, and then give them the support, maybe TOT, and then we can start the literacy program. The experiment done by Tata cost 5,000 rupees per person. I gave a proposal to Dr. Tyagi saying that we can do it at 2,000 rupees. But still, MHRD has reservations. So I think the first problem in delivering these programs is not of curriculum, not of understanding about the knowledge society, it's more of the mindset of the regulatory bodies and the mindset of the departments which are handling these programs. The second thing is of convergence. Sir, we work with Panchayat, we work with DIT, and we work with MHRD. If a digital literacy program has to launch in the country, there are 3 key departments which have to be converging. One is the Panchayat department, for whom we are working. The other is the MHRD, which has got a lot of machines and a lot of these things in schools, which can be opened up for the community and society at the evening times. And the third is the DIT. Even if the 3 are not coming up, I suggest Dr. Tyagi that we announce a national digital learning mission, all the SCS together and the department together. We announce this mission and start working on this project. We have been wasting a lot of time in convincing Panchayat department. They are duplicating. MHRD is also duplicating. They are setting up machines in the Panchayat. Panchayat is setting up machines in the Panchayat. And we already have machines in Panchayat. The model I am suggesting is only get one facilitation circular saying that CSCs will be located in Panchayat. Maybe they will do banking for the Panchayat. And they will also do information delivery for Panchayat and do adult literacy education program. They are permanent learning centers in the Panchayat buildings, which have been made very well now in the country. Finally, sir, I'd like to tell you what we are doing in our limited capacity. We have a university called Dr. C.V. Raman University. We have signed an MOU with Dr. Tyagi for delivering entry-level programs. First role of CSCs in education can be delivery points. Don't believe that CSCs will deliver everything. The person is only 10 plus 2 kind of a person. Maybe he's a graduate. In some cases, he's a better educated person. So entry-level programs which are at level 1 can be delivered by the CSCs. About 10,000 students we have registered through our CSCs in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And by the way, we have crossed the targets of CSCs. There is greater demand from people for setting up more CSCs in Madhya Pradesh in the area in which we are operating. Basically because we are delivering education services through the CSCs and now the banking services through the CSC. So first rule is CSC as delivery points. The second role we are assigned is CSC the referral points. A person wants to do MBA, a person wants to do MCA, a person wants to do BCA. The CSC can be a referral point, sending him to better training centers, sending him to the university. The third role is CSC as a counseling center. Where do I send my my boy? Where do I get a job? Where do I, counseling kind of a work, and sort of counseling camps are done at the CSCs. But one massive thing which we are setting up now, sir, is ISECT Open School, which will be delivering school level contents all over the country. We have got the contents from class 1 to class 12, and this is not a very regulatory space. I was requesting our NIOS friend that if you permit me to certify up to class 3, 5 and 8 level under the OBE scheme, I can be actually setting up a virtual campus all over the country and can register lakhs of students in class 3, 5 and 8. So that kind of innovation should be worked out. There is a regulatory body mechanism which is of the older kind. You break away from that attitude and permit and come to the pedagogy of the IT-based education. I think class 3, 5 and 8 is an open space. There is no examination taking place. We can deliver contents and the GER can be improved greatly and the universal enrollment can also be improved greatly. Some innovations I'll indicate and finish. In terms of vocation, I don't think that online vocational education is a very good idea, but there are certain things which can be done in online vocational space. We are doing multi-skilling, which is the first innovation we have done. In the rural area, you can't do only vertically integrated programs. It has to be vibrant and broad-based kind of programs. So a person can repair TV, maybe also repair a motor, can also repair another electronic equipment. So multi-skilling is the first concept. Local language is the second thing I want to talk about. So demystify, don't wear ties and suits, and talk to him in the local language and bring him together, bring him to you. Demand-led programs, new programs come up and there is no design of demand-led programs. Certification is a key issue. We have set up now our own university, which is certifying, and we are fighting for the certification space. But NIOS, DOE, ACC, I invite them to kindly open up their doors. We are talking about India as a whole, and India is very big. The 500 centers will not really help. You have to have at least, for example, examination. Where do you conduct the exam for these students? You say come to our DOACC certified center for examination. In Madhya Pradesh, there are only 37 DOACC centers. A student working in Jhabua, a student from Shiopur, he will have to spend 2,000, 3,000 rupees and going to the exam center. Sir, you set up your exam center in every block, at least in every block, if not lower. So exam centers should be in large numbers and certification should be done in a massive manner. That is the key issue in terms of innovating the delivery mechanism. Standardization is also a process. A lot of people talked about standardization. We have standardized most of the curricula at level 1 to level 4. School level and also outside. And now we are conforming to the NVQF as far as the standardization is concerned. So if you standardize, then the job prospect increases. And therefore, that is a key issue. Designing of model programs, of course, has to be there. But lastly, I would like to say, hand-holding, sir, is a very important aspect. You put content on website, and expect people to come to website and learn. They will not. They will not. We have a host of, we have 300 district managers, we've got 1200 block managers, and these people do the hand-holding, installation of software, repair of hardware, and constant training of trainer programs. Then only students from rural areas can be attracted. So I think hand-holding should be taken into account. There can be some funding, and as far as CSCSP is concerned, I think TOT is a key area and content is a key area. So you pick up content preparation, content integration, and training of trainers program in a massive manner at the CSCSP level, which will be helping. We have been conducting IT yatras and popularizing programs among people. Recently we conducted NSDC yatras. So yatras and connecting with people and mobilizing people and doing conferences and quizzes and constantly involving students into the learning activity has been our method of involving them. All our centers are sustainable. If you want to ask me how we sustain, there is a ratio of sharing between the centers and the head office. The head office has got a 50-acre campus which survives on massive student strength which we generate. We have set up a content creation center ourselves, a training of training centers ourselves, which are the very important aspects of delivering these programs to the people. I end up by saying that let us very concretely think about a national digital learning mission. Don't bother about any other cross challenges which will be coming. You put your foot in. Maybe you can send a note to PMO, and which will help us in integrating various departments. And certainly, we can be helping large numbers. And empowerment here would mean not reporting to the people, not reporting to the government. Empowerment should mean acquiring knowledge by which you can improve your quality of life. Most of the government departments now say ICT means send me formats, send me reports, send me data. This is not empowerment. This is the government department's empowerment, people's empowerment. So people's empowerment should mean delivering a lot of programs and courses by knowledge by which they can improve the quality of life. I think we can, at the end of the workshop, come up with a decision. We offer to host a full-time workshop in Bhopal for delivering of various kinds of educational programs and services. Anyone who wishes to participate can come. Thank you so much. Thank you.